Senator Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to both of you on the job you have done and the new jobs you're going to undertake here. General O, because I always butcher your name, I'm just going to call you General O. There must be a height requirement for these jobs. We mentioned yesterday about, you know, the World Cup is going on and it's fun to watch, and I'm pulling for the USA, but I have really no idea what they're doing when they play soccer. So we're going to talk football. Are we, I think you indicated we're probably on the 10-yard line when it comes to Iraq?
I did, Senator. I do think we are on the 10-yard line, and I think that the next 18 months will determine whether we get to the goal line or really give the Iraqis an opportunity to get the goal line beyond 2011.
But from our national perspective, we're on the 10, and I think you said we probably got 4 downs.
That's
First and 10 on the 10. We got a new quarterback coming in.
That's right.
I'll take the ball, Senator.
I couldn't have found a better guy to be the new quarterback. Now, the Sons of Iraq, how is that going, General O, in terms of getting those people integrated in the Iraqi security forces?
We started out with about 103,000 Sons of Iraq. About 40,000 have been transitioned into other government of Iraq jobs. They actually stopped the transition because they were starting to realize the value in many areas of what they were providing in terms of intelligence and other things. So they've slowed that down and are now doing some reevaluation of the Sons of Iraq program and how they want to transition them.
Are they still getting paid?
They are.
So one thing that we need to watch for, General Austin, is you got thousands of young Sunnis that are receiving a government paycheck. I think it's like $90 a month. Is that right?
300.
300. Okay, $300 a month. We got to make sure that if that pay stops, we've got a plan. Do you agree with that, General Austin?
I absolutely agree with that, Senator. As you know, I was there again in the early days. We transitioned them to working for began the transition to the Sons of Iraq to working for the government, and worked along with the Prime Minister to outline a plan to effectively transition them, and I think they've done a pretty good job, and we need to continue to do that in the future. So.
Okay, who's paying? Is it coming from the Iraqi budget?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, Article 140 boundary dispute issues, I think there are a couple of tripwires left in Iraq, and one of them that stands out to me is how do you resolve the Arab-Kurdish conflict in Kirkuk and the boundary dispute? If you could both give me maybe a 30-second overview of where we're at and what could we do in Congress to help you.
We have established a tripartite security architecture in the disputed areas for about 6 months now, and it's been very successful in reducing tensions. It's Peshmerga, Iraqi Army, and U.S. forces manning checkpoints and joint security areas where they do patrolling in these areas, and it has calmed things down considerably. And the UN is taking on the role of now mediating the long-term issues of the border issues and the status of Kirkuk and other issues.
Do you think that will get resolved with this new government in a year?
It depends. My guess is some of that will be discussed during the governmental formation process. How well that goes could determine how quickly it could happen. I do believe, though, it will solve the whole problem. It will be longer than a year.
General Austin, do you agree that that is one of the big outstanding issues that the Iraqi people have to resolve?
Senator Graham, I absolutely do. I think that I would be delighted if it could be resolved in a year, but
probably not.
I really believe that this is going to take a while.
And you feel like we have enough resources and focus to help them get it resolved?
I think that we're doing the right things in terms of working with the government to help them build confidence, bring about confidence building measures, to bring the two sides closer together. I think, again, it's encouraging to see that the UN is continuing to try to help. We'll require their help in the future.
Okay.
This is going to take a lot of work.
All right. The hydrocarbon law. We have yet to pass the hydrocarbon law. Is that right, General Lowe?
That's correct, Senator.
From my point of view, for what it's worth, is that until the Iraqis have a statute that divides the oil up between each group where everybody feels like they're getting the resources of the country fairly shared, it's going to be a tough go. Do you see a breakthrough in the hydrocarbon law anytime soon?
I think the initial hydrocarbon law itself probably might not get passed, but I think there are other alternatives.
They do it year by year budgeting wise, don't they?
Yeah, year by year, but also that they get a revenue sharing agreement.
Right.
I think would be important. I think that's something that people are looking at now, and I think that would help significantly. We've had some thawing. There was argument about whether the Kurdistan region could develop their own oil. They've solved that problem. They have now begun to develop that. The government of Iraq, central government is helping them, so that's a breakthrough. So we're starting to see small breakthroughs in the overall resolution of this. But again, there's still work that has to be done in that area.
The rules of engagement. Now, as I understand it, we're partnering with the Iraqi security forces. We have right of self-defense, obviously, but when you make a raid now at night, do you have to get a warrant?
Under the security agreement, you're required, all operations must be warranted.
And is that working okay?
It is working very well.
So you have a good confidence in your judicial system? There are no leaks?
It's not perfect.
Not perfect.
No system is perfect, but our ability to present evidence and get warrants, we absolutely have the ability to do that.
Well, that's
working well.
Very encouraging. And just one last question to both of you. General O, we're talking about the consequences to the United States of winning in Iraq, and I think they're enormous. Probably a good time now, given Afghanistan and where we're at in the world. If for some reason we didn't make it into the end zone, what would be the consequences of Iraq failing? And General Austin, if you could tell this committee, what are the one or two things that keep you up at night when you think about Iraq?
First, if we had a failed state in Iraq, it would create uncertainty and significant instability probably within the region. Because of the criticality of Iraq, its relationship to Iran, its relationship to the other Arab states in the region, if it became unstable, it could create an environment that could continue to increase the instability. And if it becomes unstable and ungoverned, it opens the area to potentially for terrorists in order to allow Iraq to become a place where terrorism could be exported. Now, I don't believe we're close to that. I believe we're far away from that happening. I think we're definitely on the right path. But those are the kind of things that would happen if we had a complete breakdown inside of Iraq.
Senator Graham, we will be successful in Iraq. We will get the ball into the end zone. And I believe that because of all of the great work that our young men and women continue to do on a daily basis and the commitment of this entire country to accomplishing that in the right way. The one or two things, you mentioned a thing that keeps me awake at night. The one thing that is foremost in my mind is that if the leadership is unable to transfer power in a peaceful manner, that would create conditions that would cause us to perhaps revert to sectarian behavior and people to lose confidence in their ability to be properly represented. And so that is one of the major things. And, but I am confident that based upon what we've seen thus far, this peaceful transition will occur. It will just take some time for them to form their government.